Hey there world! I'm the Courageous Goldfish, and today a cosplayer tackles the Halloween group costume. Halloween is both a blessing and a curse for those of us in the cosplay community. On the one hand, you never have to worry about what you're gonna wear because you have like a quadrillion options. On the other, it's kinda unfair to enter the work costume contest because nobody can be expected to take it as seriously as you weirdo. But eventually, as all good 20-something female friend groups go, the group costume makes it out of the group chat 8 days before Halloween. Now you gotta do some to be or not to be kind of shit to figure out how seriously you're about to take this. You know in your heart of hearts that you want to sink your creative brain into this, but like a race car waiting for the starting flag, you want your friends to enable you. And they deliver. My first concern was trying to keep this project cost effective, and also because it was on a time crunch, I had to use materials that were readily available to me. Luckily for me, I actually ended up using mostly materials that I already had, if not most other things came from the dollar store.
Supplies for the last minute Pinkie Pie. I'm actually super excited, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, first of all, we're not here to talk about this, okay? I don't need to talk about how much I'm obsessed with Snoopy, all right? This is just, let's redirect here. Anyways, this was a last minute thing in the first place, and so I think my little cosplayer heart is like, I gotta take this, I gotta cook here, okay? So I'm gonna cook, but on a budget. Okay, so what do we got? We have the wig, which is like literally perfect. Did it hurt me to pay $30 for a Halloween quality, cheap ass, shiny ass wig? Yes, absolutely. But we're not here to talk about that. This is just, you know, I'll give myself a pass. I'm not happy about it, but this is a last minute thing and I do not have time to source anything else, so we're just gonna skip over that. Obviously, cannot have Pinkie Pie without the frickin' confetti ribbons. Are you kidding? I'm super excited because they're iridescent, so they're gonna catch the light and stuff. So I got a plan. Some yellow ribbon. We got this tank top looking thing that I'm gonna modify. I'm gonna add some of that and some frills and I'm gonna put the cutie mark. I'm gonna probably embroider it right there. And this was actually super cheap because it's a Canadian basics brand and it was like 10 bucks. So, you know, it's cute enough that I can rip all that stuff off later and wear it again. So, you know, we're sustainable over here, all right? Hot pink knee-high socks, mama, that match the wig color. Yes, absolutely, for continuity of color, you know? And also because I live in Canada and it's f***ing cold, as if a tank top and a pleated skirt is not gonna already be cold. Anyways, I'm deluding myself. And the balloons, of course, because you cannot have Pinkie Pie without the balloons. This is honestly gonna be probably my favorite part. I'm gonna end up filling these with helium and attaching them to the skirt. Ah, I'm so excited. This is gonna be so good. And honestly, like, aside from the wig that we're not gonna talk about, pretty cheap. Everything else is stuff I have already.
I actually did end up using quite a bit of my personal wardrobe as well. So all of the jewelry you see in the final product is pieces from my personal collection, as well as the skirt, the belt, and these freaking awesome block heel Mary Janes I've been obsessed with for the past year.
It's kind of the vibe we're going for. Yeah. I'm gonna end up sewing some belt loops on this skirt so that it's gonna sit kind of where I want it to be. I got this frill ribbon that's been in my stash for like, what's it been? At least 5 years. So at least it finally sees the light of day, okay? So we're gonna do that. And then I'm probably gonna end up embroidering the cutie mark kind of in and beyond right there. And we're gonna cannibalize these to make either like some arm cuffs or like, I'm thinking maybe for the top of the socks, okay? Maybe a vibe, potentially.
That was, in fact, absolutely the vibe. This ended up being one of my most favorite parts about this costume. I cut some elastic that was around the size of my leg and looped on this confetti that really spoke to the vibe I wanted this project to have. It feels very birthday party, which is extremely on brand for Pinkie Pie, and I really wanted some whimsical and kind of like fantastical elements to the overall feel. I wanted to be able to move the ribbons around and arrange them as I saw fit, but they did need to be secured down in some way because they kept coming apart, so I ended up using a bit of hot glue to just glue the knot down on itself while avoiding the elastic. After sewing up the back of the elastic and curling the yellow ribbon, I had myself 1 out of 2 confetti cuffs. Now, while I was proud of my confetti work, I have to confess that I just did not have the care to go all in with this embroidery project. Not even to mention that the reason why I've been stuck in a years-long hiatus in the first place is because the piece I'm working on has so much hand embroidery, my arm might fall off by the wrist. I'm going to a bar in Yeehaw Town, and I do not expect anyone to be looking close enough, let alone care. I freehanded this entire thing strictly just on vibes, and you can absolutely tell, but to be honest, it's serviceable enough that I'll give myself a pass. I ended up throwing these curls into some loose pigtails, and I wanted to see how using zip ties to secure them would go. I've never used this technique before, so I was curious to see how it would hold. The thing I hate the most is an unruly and unpredictable wig, so I doused it with a good coat of Got2b Glued so it would really be as bulletproof as possible. I also added more of the confetti from earlier to try and hide the black of the zip ties. I'm not a confident wig styler, and with such limited time, I just wanted to do whatever I could to cut a serviceable bang for this wig. I really wanted to do like a bit of a Decora K inspired moment with my hair clips, so I went for more of a blunt and straight bang, but I'm really 50-50 on whether it's cute or if I just look like the girl from Lazy Town. Ooh. Listen, this wig, I'm kind of flip-flopping between it's the worst thing I've ever put on my head and it's so gross, but also it does legitimately remind me of the hair that the OG ponies had when I was a kid. So I don't know what that says, but we're kind of trying to make it work here. I got something going on, at least. For the sake of detail, and because I care about that, I tried to match my eyeshadow as closely as I could to the actual color of Pinkie Pie's eyes as well. Finally, I got some helium balloons filled at my local party store, tied on the corresponding colored ribbons, and this Pinkie Pie costume was ready to hit the town. This was absolutely my favorite part of the whole thing. Just the magical bizarreness that they give is so fun to me. Although they absolutely are a pain in the butt logistically, they're still super cute. I attached them to one of the belt loops I installed in the skirt with this heart-shaped carabiner, so I could easily take them on and off as I needed to. This was in an attempt to make them a little bit less of a pain in the butt, and I mean, it kind of worked, but it was still a little bit, you know, awkward, we'll say. Overall, I truly did have fun putting this costume together, which is something I've been chasing to feel for a while with this hobby. I didn't take myself too seriously, and I let it come together organically for the first time probably ever. And that's the spirit of the Halloween costume, is to have fun, isn't it? And that brings us to the end of this video today, friends. Give me like 2.5 seconds to have an appreciation post for these freaking awesome Halloween Snoopy bedsheets. Are you kidding me? So festive, so fun. Didn't want to talk about it earlier because, you know, we had some stuff to do, but I am very excited about them and I needed you to know. But of course, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Any pony else want to panic with me? No?